Welcome to the operator training for the Pharmasave 2022 virtual buying show. In this video, I'll show you how you can review your assigned vendors' booths within the self-onboarding setup tool. To get started, you're going to want to log in with the email that was provided to you as an operator. You'll go to pharmasave.orderies.show, and we recommend using Google Chrome. When you enter in your email, it'll ask you to enter your password if you were a returning user of the platform. If you don't recall what your password was, you can use the Forgot Your Password feature. Just make sure you're always logging back in using pharmasave.orderies.show after you go through that setup process. Also, please feel free to reach out to Orderies and we can assist you with getting in and changing your password for you. Once you log in, you're going to land on the old navigation page as this content still needs to be updated. So just go into Enter Trade Show. Now that we're in here, I'm going to show you quickly the two big areas that you're going to be using for the self-onboarding tool. The first is along the top, which is a gear icon if you're on a smaller iPad screen. It's called Overview. This allows you to see every single booth in the show, and these dots represent their status is up top, so to be reviewed. So this means somebody has submitted their booth content tab for review. Once you've reviewed it, it'll turn up yellow. Once you've reviewed and locked it, it'll be green. And when someone submits a change request, it'll turn blue. All this information is available via a downloadable CSV file. And I'll go through this file in a moment. The next option you have here is to click the gear beside each of the corresponding vendors, and you will land into their setup. You see two extra tabs, Deals and Terms and Products, because you're an operator, so you have higher visibility in the platform. The vendors do not see this, they only see Overview, where a link to the self-onboarding support page exists. They see Configuration, where you enter the booth name, hover description. Here you can see what it looks like and the logo. And then booth content, where people can upload their vendor documents and content. So let's go into a real booth with some content. In here, you will want to make sure that you're good with the name of the booth. You reviewed the mouse over description here. So that's what shows up on the booth map. And the logo. You're going to look at these after an exhibitor has clicked Submit for Review. So that's what shows up in that Overview tab we were just looking at. Let's go ahead and submit this. In the Booth Content tab, you will have vendor documents that you can click through to review. If you don't like a document, you can click this garbage can and remove the booth media. Or you can go in to add more. So this will also take you into the media library where all documents exist. Any document uploaded does not actually delete from the platform, it just gets removed from the booth. So if you accidentally deleted one, you can come back in here to re-add it to the booth. If you want to be able to view that document in more details, there's two ways you could do that. One is download it, which will go download to your computer so you can open it up and read it in more detail. Or if you go back to Booth Editor, if you actually click Preview Booth, please note you won't have this button. It's because I'm logged in with a master password. So that's for Orderies, but you'll see this button, which is Preview Booth. And this allows you to see it just like a buyer would. So this gives you a bigger version of all the images. If you were to click on them or PDFs, you could see them bigger here. So that's also another way to view and see how it's all looking. If content extends past this area, there will be a Read More button. So you can click that to see all of the content. Back arrow, and you're back into the editor. In here is the booth content that you saw in the previous window. So if you needed to make any sort of edits, you can do so here directly. And please note that all links do need to make sure that they're opening in a new window. So if you right click, you'll see these links below. So you can either choose to remove the link, you can open a link to see what it is, And if you click the top, it'll allow you to do any sort of editing necessary in here. So you'll want to make sure to click New Window. So what does it look like when you're actually doing the overview? You will get a notification that is forwarded to you that someone has submitted something to review. Now I'm going to show you how you can go through the submit for review and locking process. Once you've reviewed everything and you're happy with it, I'm logged in as the operator. So I'm going to be able to see, first of all, see which ones are reviewed. So as you can see, they've been submitted for review in red. So I'm going to go to Pharmasave brands. And you can see it's red there. So that I'll find them up here, click the gear, and now I'm in there. So see the check marks in the status tab. So it always will land on the status tab. These check marks mean that they have been submitted for review. So that's 3 tabs here. And those are the only 3 that they will be submitting. Once you have reviewed them, this is the column where you're going to go in and lock. So let's say you've reviewed them and locked them. You can't lock this one because it's open the whole time, but you can make it invisible, but that will be up to Pharmasave's decision closer to the show. So now that these are locked, we're going to go to the booth content and configuration tabs, and you can see up at the top, there's a big locked symbol. This means that you also aren't able to edit this. So if you will want to do this after you've reviewed and made any changes to the booth, or you could just quickly go back to the status tab, unlock it, then go back and make any sort of edits necessary. After this, once you've actually clicked the lock button, if the person wants to make any sorts of changes to these areas, they will need to submit a request to change. So over here, I'm logged in as Jackie, who is a rep in the Pharmasave brands booth. So now you can see that this booth content tab is locked, but if any edits are wanted to be made, request change will be clicked. Now if you go to status, I'm just going to refresh the page here. You will see in here that a change has been requested for the booth content tab. If you are okay to have them make this change, go into booth content. You could see up here the flag that a requested change has been submitted, and you as the operator are able to go in and open this for them. So it says that it's operator reviewed and it's been locked. So go into status and unlock that. So as you can see, the request change has gone away and they are now able to go in and make any edits. Vendors are being encouraged to, once they make those edits, submit them for request change again, which is over here. So they'll submit it for review, and then you will now be re-notified to go through the process. Now, in the Overview tab, there is this downloadable export, which we pulled earlier in the video. This export will look like this. First, we have the name of the booth that appears in the first column, their statuses, which can be filtered, and you can also filter by the booths that you've been assigned using this column, if that helps you. These emails that appear here are for those that have logged into the trade show. So as you can see, some haven't logged in yet, and that might actually be a good indicator to reach out to them and let them know that they need to go in and populate their booths by the due date.